Okay, I think we'll get started. So welcome to the Helix webinar series. Today's session is on BMC Helix for Workplace Service Management. Today's presenters are Mary Lynn Lawrence, our Senior Director of Product Management, and we also have Emma Gore, our Principal Solutions Marketing Manager. They will go through the session with you. We will start with Emma, but first of all, just as a reminder, you have the Q&A section of Zoom where you can ask questions. So when they're not presenting, we will be answering those during the course of the session. We also will have time at the end for live Q&A for any questions you may have. The other thing we will be doing is putting a poll in. We're interested to understand what tool you're using currently for facilities operations. So if you could put into the poll your answer, and we will obviously take that away for future reference if we need to help support you. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Emma, who's going to start the presentation. Over to you.
Great, thank you, Sam. So as you're aware, a safe and sustainable workplace is a board level issue, but practically what does this mean when we think about workplace maintenance? So in this webinar, we're going to be discussing the challenges that your facilities teams face when they're trying to deliver an efficiently operating workplace. I'll then hand over to Mary Lynn and we'll be showcasing one of our newest out-of-the-box solutions, which is available now within BMC Helix 22.105 Workplace Service Management. And after listening to this webinar, if you'd like more detailed discussions on this specific solution, including pricing and licensing, please contact your account manager. So, as we're all aware, organisations have a duty of care to their employees and need to comply with regulations around workplace safety, such as OSHA and the European directives around health and safety. And as you can see, a workplace accident is a cost to a business with over 2.6 million incidents reported in 2021. And each fine from OSHA is on average $15,000, which is actually just the start, with time off from sickness and associated insurance claims. And while health and safety is nothing new, according to a recent study by futureworkplace.com, more than 68% of HR leaders rated employee well-being and mental health as a top priority. And this is also about creating collaborative workplace environments with well-functioning workspace and meeting spaces to help boost employee morale. And obviously, sustainability is really high on the agenda. You know, the World Economic Forum states that buildings are responsible for over 40% of global energy consumption. And this is actually compounded by a rise in energy costs, which is hitting facilities management in a really big way. So the drive to minimise waste through poor functioning assets and faulty machines is really key. And the drive towards hybrid is here to stay, as so many organisations are reducing their office space and redesigning workspaces to really support a more collaborative work style and better workspace utilisation. So practically, how do these macro issues impact workplace maintenance? Well, facilities teams are under even more scrutiny around improving efficiencies and driving down cost without compromising the health and safety and well-being of the employees. And typically, workplace maintenance is designed around reactive, and that's when a fault is reported by either the employee or workplace technician who is inspecting the asset, which requires an emergency repair. Or preventive, which is when the workplace technician undertaking a regular inspection of the equipment is checking for performance and reliability. And against this backdrop, we're finding that customers are looking at ways to minimise reactive maintenance over preventive. Emergency repairs are costly, and they want to minimise this through a solid and robust preventive maintenance model. And actually, best practice is for 80% of maintenance to be preventive. So let's look at the common issues that organisations face with regard to reactive and preventive maintenance. So this is based on our feedback when we spoke to customers when we were in the process of designing this solution. And here are the issues that they were facing. So it's not always straightforward to log issues for employees. They don't know where to go, and often the issue goes unreported and there's no audit trail. And when you look at preventive maintenance, it can often be extremely complex with disparate assets which have different lifespans and documentation. And some of the assets will be serialized, such as air conditioning systems with clear maintenance plans, but others won't be, such as carpeting. So the information on assets may well be in disjointed systems, which have been built specifically for that type of equipment, or sometimes just on spreadsheets. And that makes it very hard to create consolidated schedules and track repairs through to resolution. And the negative consequences are that actually is an increased likelihood of equipment failure, because issues haven't been identified quickly. Workplace technicians are not always working efficiently on preventive maintenance work, and assets get missed, which has the larger consequence of building performance and efficiency targets not being met, and the greater risk of unplanned repairs. So if we look at kind of the sort of future state, really, and that is that we should be making it extremely simple for employees to be able to log facilities issues really simply and intuitively alongside other departmental requests that they might be making. And it should be easier for preventive maintenance work to be automatically scheduled to help reduce the need for emergency repairs. And what if you could reduce the overall cost of maintenance inspections and drive up efficiency levels? Well, this will contribute to a reduced risk of employee workplace injuries and related time off, as well as a safe functioning work environment that really will help employee morale and support hybrid and those return to work models. And you're reducing the reactive maintenance issues and cost to your business. Your labour costs are under control and your maintenance work is completed on schedule and on time. So let's go into a little bit more detail on how we address this. So this is done through our new solution, which is BMC Helix for workplace service management, where we're offering a solution which handles both reactive and preventive service management. So with reactive maintenance, an employee can raise a workplace issue through the multi-departmental employee portals, which is built on BMC Digital Workplace, which incorporates mobile and chat. It comes with pre-configured case templates and workflows to address a wide range of workplace issues, such as temperature adjustments and power outages. And when we look at our preventive maintenance solution, well, this is where you can integrate all your assets within the BMC Helix CMDB. You can leverage pre-configured case templates to raise cases for maintenance and repair of different assets. You can automatically create a recurring schedule of maintenance activities. There are out-of-the-box forms that you can use for facilities assets with the ability to create categories according to type and location and assign cases to different technicians and manage the workflows. There's a checklist for the asset where the asset information that they complete during the inspection, and a dashboard to oversee the management of cases. So let's quickly drill into some of these key capabilities before I hand over to Mary Lynn. So this here gives you a very quick illustration of the intuitive portal, which employees can use to log an issue. And remember, this can be accessed from a mobile device, or cases can be raised via chat. And again, here is a breakdown of the different pre-configured workflows for the different most common facilities requests that might be raised through the employee portal. And then let's move into preventive maintenance. So this is an illustration of a monthly water cooler maintenance program. And here you've got details about the water cooler asset, which has been captured in the CMDB, which provides you with details on when that product was manufactured and sold and how many times it was serviced and maintained, as well as where the water cooler is located. And obviously in this case, it's Boston. The water cooler has been given a case, which has been scheduled under a monthly maintenance program. The case is categorized under facilities, kitchen and water, and you can see the associated tasks such as note refrigerant and oil levels and the case workflow. And here is an example of where you can see asset integration for both serialized and non-serialized assets, which is extremely important. And in this illustration, you can see the case for an electric boiler monthly maintenance, and you can see when the product was manufactured and sold, how many times it was serviced and maintained. And you can integrate your assets and relate them to cases, tasks, and schedules to view the asset details when on the road. And when you look at the ability to schedule cases, you can create reoccurring schedules on a daily, weekly, or monthly or yearly schedule and extend the schedule if needed. For example, in the case of water coolers, you can relate all water cooler assets to the schedule and apply a monthly water cooler maintenance case for all of them if required, which can include all the associated tasks and checklists, or you can set up individual cases per water cooler depending on your needs. And you can schedule both support for reactive and preventive cases and distinguish between both. And again, let's not underestimate the importance of being able to provide mobile interface support. And that's because, you know, these facilities need to be able to, they're going to be on site, they're going to be moving around buildings, and they need to be able to do their inspections on the go. And here is a great illustration of how you access that information through the mobile interface. And I'm just going to quickly touch on the importance of checklists, which is a key part of the solution and the ability to, we designed it to make it really easy that during inspections for them to be completed very efficiently. We've also got knowledge articles that can be included within the task so they can understand whether there were any previous issues with repairs, anything around specific components of the machine which need to be understood during inspection. I'm going to hand over to Mary Lynn, who's going to go into a much more detailed demonstration of the service.
Thanks, Emma. Let me do that. I just was answering a question. Let's share my screen here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I was answering a question about work order. And so the term work order is a little bit confusing, but this is work orders in business workflows for the workplace service management line of business. So this is for the facilities teams, for the data center security teams, for physical security teams, like, you know, need to have scheduled maintenance for making sure doors are locked, or just anything where you need a scheduled type of work order for more of the maintenance types of teams. So that's the difference. It's a line of business work order as opposed to an IT work order, which is a really interesting point as well. So we have talked to many customers when we did this design that have facilities types of work sitting on top of their IT implementation, and it is really not working. So we were design partners. We had a design partnership with eBay, and eBay actually had their reactive facilities management sitting on top of ITSM. They did not like it. They didn't like to be under the thumb of IT for any changes they wanted. They wanted their own forms, they wanted their own fields, and they wanted to control the different areas within there. And then they were using a whole different system for preventive maintenance. And so we worked with them, which was great because it got us to understand, and this is a little different lingo, the world of operations. And I'm not pigeonholing this into facilities because, again, we have other customers that are evaluating this for use of physical security and data center maintenance on their equipment as well. So what we did then was created this line of business, and there are a lot of platform enhancements as well. So again, Emma mentioned that it needs to be on 22 .1.05 or greater. And I'll show you all of these different pieces. So we bring you into the first part as an enterprise service management employee. You know, as an employee, again, you should be bringing them into a portal that allows you to take all of their requests in one area and do the knowledge search as well. So I'll go in here into workplace service management. Again, we have about, and Emma flashed this up. I mean, I think it looks like 15 on the front, but actually behind the scenes, there are 70 plus different templates included in business workflows for the different types of requests. And that's because we drill down as we take the information from DWP. So let me use an example here. And I'll do furniture. And so this is one template. And then you can go ahead and select what you want to do with furniture, new, repair, move. Again, this is another template where we're tracking all of these different fields that we can use for reporting, assignment, approvals, any of those things. So I'm going to request a new piece of furniture. If you're not super familiar with DWP, you have the ability to collect all of this information out front. These are responsive forms. You can have different fields that pop up based on your answers to the questions. So I'll go ahead and pick a chair as a furniture type, and I got an additional question here, and I will take the extension desk. So this is for accessibility. And it is going to take the location of the requester, but we also provided the ability, if the requester is traveling and at a different site, they can change the site, and that's going to drive our assignment. So I'll leave it at Houston for right now. You can put some additional information in here about exactly where, and I'm going to go ahead and submit this request. So as you can see in the activity area, I've got the furniture request, and as an enterprise service management portal, I can also see that I have, in this case, HR requests, and I have an IT request as well. So that's it on the reactive side. So it allows the employee to report repair kinds of things like temperature, water on the floor, glass in the parking lot, as well as do requests. So let's go ahead into the back side here and look at the business workflows side. Let's see if I can move this dumb thing. So let's go take a look in the back here at the cases. So again, this is just another line of business. From a licensing perspective, there's two ways to license this. If you're on the legacy licensing model where business workflows is sold by active users and in packs, then this is just another line of business that you would add. So here we have facilities, HR, finance, legal. So you would just purchase another line of business. In our new pricing model, the suite pricing, you would price this by agents, concurrent and named agents, just like you do with ITSM. So I'll go ahead and open up this request that came over for the furniture. So I can see that it was automatically assigned. So there are case templates that are in the background here that are already set up, and we'll go into the admin side in a minute. And it automatically categorized this as well. So this can go into a workflow. We have SLAs that are available as well for both response and resolution. And these SLAs can differ depending on whether it's a reactive versus preventative, or if it's, you know, based on priority, where this is just a low one, as opposed to we may have a critical one here, which is the restroom has water in it, right? So we have also categorized these in the back as part of the templates that are going through. So two pieces I want to show you. I want to show the easiest piece. So we get on with a lot of facilities teams, and you know, you get caught up in the how cool is this, you know, kind of thing. Look at what we can do. They're not interested in look at what we can do and look how cool this is, right? So one of the first questions I get asked is how easy is this, right? How fast can I do this? So because we have these case templates, we've automatically assigned it to a team, a facilities team, based on the location of the requester. And then we can automatically assign it to the assignee if they have specialties in certain areas. It can be right to the assignee, or you can go ahead and assign it to that assignee. All that facilities person or the security person has to do is say, basically, I'm done. So I'll go in here, I'm going to go ahead and it's resolved. I'm going to say that no further action is required, and I fix the leak. And it's that easy for facilities who are not enamored with technology generally to be able to go ahead, pick up their case, and then just go in and resolve it with a resolution. Now, let's take you, though, to where some of the really cool stuff and the enhancements to the platform that we've had to do, as well as new business workflows features that go along with this. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this air compressor monthly maintenance one. So a bunch of things that I want to show you here. So this is being kicked off, and we'll go look at the scheduler in a minute, but this is being triggered automatically based on whether it's weekly, monthly, daily, every year. And though it goes along with that, in that case template that we talked about, is what's the assignment going to be? Are there knowledge articles associated? Is there a checklist associated with this? And we actually have moved away from tasks for this type of technician because that was a little bit heavy for them. And we're seeing this in HR as well, and starting to use our checklists more, which is a brand new feature in 22.1.05. Really looking at this, but it is really expanding in use by our other lines of business. So let's scroll down here. So one of the first things that surprised me when we talked about eBay, is knowledge articles. So we said, yeah, knowledge articles, that's probably more of a, an IT thing or an HR kind of thing. They fully embrace knowledge articles. And here's why. So the components that are being used in these physical security operations or facilities operations are complex. And so they seized on this capability in order to put some schematic information in there, as well as some more detailed information, and in some cases, links to the manuals that may be out in SharePoint. So these are sometimes what they describe. These are the knowledge articles are used maybe for the newer people or when they get new different types of equipment. So they can have it here or they don't need it. But I was really impressed with how that was embraced for this area. Now, that knowledge article, again, was part of the case template. It automatically was assigned to this case. They didn't have to go out and associate it because it was part of the monthly maintenance case template. The other thing that came over is this checklist. So let's take a look at this checklist. Now, this looks like tasks, right? And they are in the easiest sense of things. So I'll go ahead and edit this. And this allows them to keep track of all of the things that they should be doing, but not having to go in and put a task in progress and assign it and then resolve it specifically. Tasks can still be used. There may be use cases where facilities teams need to have a formal task, but this has been embraced. So you have the ability to go through here and update these and say whether that passed or failed and add comments to that. If I go into the securing of bolts and there's an issue, I can identify that it's failed and I can add comments. Need deeper look at this. And I can go ahead and save this. Now, I can keep going through my maintenance checklist here, but I'm not going to take the time, and we heard this loud and clear from eBay, that they are not going to take the time to, as part of their preventive maintenance, go fix things. And so what happens is when this is resolved, you can select needs additional assistance as the resolution selection. And then a reactive case is automatically created for this, and it links that case to that reactive case. And I'll show you one of those. But that's a really cool thing too. That's real life, that we need to open up that reactive in response to an issue during the preventive maintenance activities. The other thing that's very key that Emma had talked about is the linkage to assets. Yes, this is the CMDB. This is the Helix CMDB. We are linking to that. And we have, this is a serialized asset. We also have assets in here that are not serialized. They are like ceiling fans or carpeting. Those are really key areas that need to have preventive maintenance. So they are in the CMDB. It may be something like 5th floor carpeting, right? Or, the building ceiling fans, but it's a CI that's in there. And it is picked up as part of the scheduler to create those automatic cases. And this is really valuable for the technician when they're out there working on it, because not all air compressors are the same. And in this case, this is a different supplier name and a manufacturer, and it provides some additional information. As in any of these linked areas, you can select the fields that you want to show here as well. Now, one of the key areas that I haven't hit yet, but is super important, is the ability to do this via mobile. So I'm going to go into a mobile simulator. Don't look at the right. That's just the code for the simulator here. And let me just go ahead and refresh this. This one, if you're not familiar, I hit the function and then the F12 key to get this simulator, and you have the ability to do different types of phones, and then you can rotate them as well. So I wanted to show this to you. We did some platform changes here as well to make this show well. So we were responsive, but we wanted to make sure that this was pristine, because it's going to be used a lot by the technician. So I'll go through here and I can see the different areas, and here's my checklist. I'll go ahead and edit that checklist, and I can complete that doing right here on the mobile phone very easily. The other thing that I can do on the mobile here is I can see the different, oops, I went the whole way out, and let's see where my preventive is. Sorry about that. It's just going back into this one. I can also go in and look at the activity, and here's where I can see the knowledge article. You can pull up the knowledge article. They can turn their phone sideways if they want, but they're able to see that phone and those knowledge through the phone and the different knowledge article pieces here. The other piece that I wanted to show you as well, let me write this back up, is that I have the asset here, and I can go ahead and pull that asset up to get that full view. So everything that I showed you on the case is available here. And one of the other areas that I did want to show you quickly, because it's something that is used a lot by technicians that are in the field, is that when I add my note, they're going to be taking pictures of things out there. And so you have the ability to take a picture and add that to the case itself. Just that as well. So that's the mobile interface that I wanted to show you. Let me go back out and let's go into the settings just a little bit as well. So the other thing I did want to show you, though, and I think this is coming back here. There we go. Is that we do have other different types of, here's a ceiling fan as an example. I did want to show you that because this really surprises people that a ceiling fan is actually in the CMDB. And so as you can see here, this is just a CMDB that corrals all of the ceiling fans in this Houston facility. Again, ceiling fans are big in some areas and are really key. And so you may do that by floor. But again, they're in the CMDB. Okay, the next thing I wanted to show you is the administrative side. And really, this is one of my favorite parts about business workflows is how nice the interface is here. And I said, let's go look at the administration. This is really a business analyst view. So if I go take a look at, I can modify all of my templates here if I want to. So let me just go look at a template and I can see, let's do the air compressor one and the monthly maintenance. And so what I can see is that this checklist, this is the case template. This is what's initiated when the schedule kicks off. It has the checklist right here. It also has that save preventive maintenance knowledge article. So there's nothing that that technician has to do to attach them to the case. The other piece is the scheduler. So let's take a look at the schedule. So I'll go look at the air compressor monthly maintenance. Look at that interface, right? That's gorgeous. So it's really easy to create new schedules. You can see here that this one is a monthly one. The case template that gets pulled when the automation runs is this case template. We had the start date, the end date. This is monthly, recurring on a certain date. And then here are the assets. So what happens when this runs is that at that time, it will go out, grab the asset, create a case. So it's going to create a case for every one of the assets that's associated with that schedule. And then I can see the different instances here, and I can update them. I can see what's been processed, and I can actually modify any of the upcoming ones as well. And then the other thing I wanted to show you, because I saw something about checklists here. We were integrated with BWF. So here are checklists back here in the settings area. And I'll go look at the different checklists here. So each line of business can have their own checklists. So these are the ones for the facility side of things. And from an air compressor maintenance, they're set. Here are all of the questions that you saw, which is super easy. Now, talking about super easy, if I wanted to create a checklist, this is how easy it is. So it's for the facility side. I'm going to put this to Apex Global. And right now it's going to be inactive until I activate it. And this is going to be item 1. Two. Then I could activate it and then save it. I'll leave it inactive for right now. But then when I go to create the case template, I can pull from this list to see which of the checklists I want to have associated with that case template. Does that make sense on the checklist area as well? Okay. So one other area that I'd like to take you is over to the dashboards. So we have the regular case agent dashboard for business workflows, regardless of the line of business. So I'll go ahead and pick, I can pick HR. This is valid for the HR side as well. Here's our facilities. You can change the dates up here if you're not familiar with this. And then I can see all of the different areas here. But what I did want to show you, and if you're not familiar with these, you can share these, you can export these, you can change the time frame of these things, you can modify the widgets that are in here as well. But let me just go show you the new dashboard that's associated with this line of business. Oops, not that one. I'll do the workplace service management dashboard here. And I just had that. Let's go here. And we'll do this in the last 6 months. And this line of business. So this is a new dashboard because one of the things that we heard from eBay and other areas that have technicians is that generally they assign by building or site, and then that there is a supervisor who oftentimes is the one that is doing the assignment. So either a dispatch team gets it first and does the assignment, or a supervisor does that. So we wanted to get an overall supervisor view of the different work items that are there, so that they can work from here to potentially do reallocation of work, see what needs to be shifted. Oh my, I have a lot of unassigned ones out here as well. And then they can drill down into these as well. If you're familiar with this interface, you can see the different cases, and you can click into them to actually edit them as needed. Okay. So that's the dashboard area that I wanted to show you, and that new dashboard. So this is a pretty quick demo. Are there questions, Kapil or Emma, that I can go back into the tool and show, or any other questions?
No,
Okay.
I think we
Covered them. I think that's good, Kapil. I think you did a product that's just very clean and clear here. So I don't know if they can come off mute. Sam, if anybody has any other questions or wants me to show anything else around this, I would be happy to. Oops, Sam, are you there?
I am, yes, sorry, I was just unconnecting. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, now we can. Oh,
Sorry, my screen. Yeah, no, my screen just kind of locked then. I also tried to put, just to let you know, the poll. I couldn't send the poll into the team just to ask them any questions. So I don't know if you wanted to get them to put it into the Q&A as well, Mary Lynn and Emma.
If you don't mind, if you know what your company is using for their operations, I'm always interested to hear different facility applications. And also, if you're interested, we do know that we're going to be adding some enhancements to this down the road. We will be on the roadmap. We'll be start tracking time in here, as well as potentially costs, which is something that we hear. And we will be doing a deeper integration with the asset side to be linking the work orders that are created in business workflows down at the asset level. So we know we have some futures, but we're always interested in hearing ideas that you may have. So you have our email addresses to get hold of us if you need any other assistance or have any ideas in general.
So I see we've got Magnus has put his response into the Q&A. So if anyone else does, if you could just put in your tooling into
ITSM,
the Q&A.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, good to hear. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
and
we hear that a lot. It's just some place to put it, and it has some workflow, but that's the really nice thing. And I do this on the HR side all the time. Those facilities team, they were thrilled at the fact that they could have their own categorization, their own fields. I mean, one of the things that I didn't mention, but it is a big deal, is that we have additional fields here that we've exposed on the both out here on the floor and room side of things, as well as actually on the case itself. So you can have additional fields that are specific to facilities. So they were very happy with that part. IFS, yep, familiar with that one as well. Thank you for that.
And I see we have a question as well, Marilyn, from Kleber. I'm not sure if you saw that. It was actually when you were presenting around, can you show how checklists are integrated with BWF?
Yeah, and I think I saw that out of the corner of my eye and went through checklists. But Kleber, did I? Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure I hit it for you. Awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
So does anyone else have any questions? Obviously, this is an opportunity to ask. I've managed to unmute everyone. Apologies, there was a delay in my systems. So
yeah, so that's a good question
questions
that we have here is how do you differentiate that in the CMDB? The way that eBay was doing it was by categorization, the categorization of the item to be a facilities category. But that's generally what we have seen. Kapil, have you seen anything different?
No.
Okay.
Francois, I don't know if you wanted to add anything. I know you often have questions around some of our webinars as well. Is there anything else that you wanted to ask live?
Yeah, no, I think thanks for the opportunity, and it's a great technology. What I would like to, my question around the CMDB in most cases is positioned around IT. We do find that there's sometimes a big discrepancy with customers, whether it's, well, not discrepancy, but questions they ask around it, but why storing this in the CMDB? CMDB should not be used as a garbage dump to go and store stuff in. I would probably, as a recommendation, create a facilities data set and pull all the facilities from that. But
They
the
rejected
confusion
that.
around that is being created. But yeah, maybe, Mary, there's some different perception that we need to change.
Yeah, I mean, that was absolutely rejected by eBay and by the other 3 design partners we had, because I fully expected us to have to build a facilities CMDB, mini CMDB thing in business workflows. And they were like incredulous that we would even do that because, one thing about ceiling fans or carpeting maybe, but they have large pieces of equipment that are serialized and capitalized too. So to them, it is a thing that's owned by the company, and they felt very strongly that it should be part of the CMDB.
Okay. And then second question I have was around field services. So I know that BMC is busy looking at, multiple applications, workplace, business workflows, CyberMax, customer service management solution, all of those kind of things. How do you see all of these fit together at the end of the day? I mean, is it that a customer must subscribe to each of these as a microservice? Is that the thinking?
Well, there's a couple different pieces to that. So you hit on one area that we don't really cover yet, and that is field service management. So we cover dispatch here in a small way, right? This works for the really for the facility kinds of things. This doesn't work for the large, like telecom, right? With the telecom side. We're working with Oracle right now to contract with them as a partner in the market zone area for their Oracle field service management application, which is amazing. And it has things that we don't have, like inventory management, resource management, right? Project management tied in there too. And, the idea of taking a kit with you and when you're doing preventive maintenance, having all of that equipment in inventory signed out to you, right? To make sure. And then when you return, then there has to be a process for refreshing inventory, looping into purchasing, right? And so we have a very small subset that fits well for a business workflow line of business, right? And for dispatch to your facilities or your physical security team. We explode out into a full-blown app when you start talking field service management.
Yes. And then Mary's last question, 2 questions. One is around discovery. you discover let's say, for example, I know that there's cases where you can discover projectors, but that's obviously seen as an IT asset. What about air cons and those kind of things?
Mhm. Yeah, I
Is
mean,
that
yeah, we can with our API take in any of the alerts that are coming out of there, but Discovery not so much.
okay?
So
Right.
was asked though, because IFS and some of the large facilities
Mm,
applications do have some of that capability.
yes. Yeah.
So yes, so we are able to do the alert side of it,
Okay.
and take that alert in, but the
Mm.
discovery piece probably not as much.
Okay. Last question
Now,
then
on the
around.
BCom side, though, that on the IoT
Yes. Yes.
discovery, they
Yeah. There, I
absolutely
see that
can
the
do
play
that,
there.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then lastly, around playbooks, and if we want to take this to customers, obviously that's the next step on my side as a partner, is we need to enable our sales team. Is there a link you can share where we can get like collateral? I know I'm talking from a partner perspective, but I can probably find that on Sales Edge, right?
Yes. Yeah, Emma, you want to
Okay.
talk about the collateral?
Yeah, absolutely. We do have we've got customer presentations. We've got a dedicated page on Sales Edge, so I just
Okay.
need to
Right.
find the location. I'll send it to you. And also we do
Okay.
have a
No, that's fine.
dedicated page on the docs pages and on bmc.com. So there's
Yes.
quite a lot of material already there that you can use externally and to present
Yeah.
this solution to customers.
Yeah, because I think it's a nice app to go and cross-sell the
Yeah,
customers that already
Yes.
runs Helix,
Yep.
and especially in the retail space. So I think I find it very interesting. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you very much. I really
Mm.
appreciate it. And one other piece, I mean, the instance that I was using to do this demo is the part of the demo COE. Right now, I think it's
Okay.
you have to check in and check out or whatever, a smaller
Yes, yes.
subset. But when the bigger one is here, maybe it's here almost now, this is in there too. So the demo COE has baked the workplace service management application into their demo instances. So
Yes.
that's good. And then
Yeah.
we are training up SEs on this. You see, it's a
Okay.
super easy thing for you to get trained up on. But
Yes.
we would also be happy to run any sessions. I've run one for Latin America,
Okay.
just specific for them as well. So
Yeah.
we'd be glad to do mini sessions as well.
Yeah. Does this fall part of the DSOM stack, or is it
Mhm.
separately from DSOM, or is it
Nope.
part of DSOM?
It's all DSOM.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we've
all
got
business workflows. Yeah.
okay. We've got a huge DSOM event in February next year, but I'll reach out to you guys. It's obviously something different. Where I'm going to position the full DSOM stack on a big launch. So I'm trying to get myself enabled on some of these items. So yeah, looking forward to take this to market.
That's great. And we just are adding lines of business like crazy, and working with the Ericsson crew, they're ramping up to 50 lines of business, 50 lines of business. So it really is
Okay.
kind of like where the new money is being found.
Yes,
And
yeah.
so that's awesome. So anything we can do to support you on that, we would
That's
be very
fantastic.
happy to do that.
Well, thanks, Mary. Thanks, Emma and Samantha. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, pleasure. Thanks, Francois. And I see actually Cleaver's also asked one on field service management, Mary. I don't know if you want to answer that. I know we've got a few minutes until we finish.
Yeah, so yes, that for field service management, it's just too big for us to build. And the one that's established with Oracle is just awesome. It does that whole GPS location, who's the best route, the fastest route, assign based on experience and all of that. So that is our strategy. And that will be for the IT field service management, as well as, like Francois mentioned, customer service management would be integrating with that one. Telecom, the ITSM extensions for telecom would be integrating with that as well.
Thanks, Marilyn. And when is that coming in terms of roadmap?
I will find out from Sam Lakunde what the status of the Market Zone partnership is and get back to you.
Thank you so much.
And you can see it out there. They have a really good demo out on their website for it.
Yeah, I'll go check it out because, like I said, I came across that requirement a few times.
Yeah.
And in the past, and we kind of had to shy away from, fulfilling it or finding other creative ways to not do it, if you will. It's good to know that is a direction for it because it's gonna make it easier for us to market even IT, right? To
Right.
some of the customers who need that kind of solution, don't have anything in-house for that.
Absolutely. And I just put the link for the Oracle Field Service Management in there in the chat.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it'll be good to understand, like the depth of that integration, as well. So
Yep.
I'll wait for some more information on that. Thanks.
Sounds good. And bug me if I don't get it to you soon enough, okay? I know you know where to find me.
Yes, I know how to track it down. Thanks.
Yes, you do.
Actually, what I was going to say, Mary Lynn and Emma, some of the links that we're referencing, certainly for external facing, if you want to give those links to me, and when I do the Q&A from today, we can put the links in there so it's in one place. And if we can't answer some of the questions immediately, I will go back into the blog post once we've spoken again to put them in there for everyone. And again, you can reach out to me. Okay, so I think that's answered all our questions. We have a few minutes left. Does anybody else have any questions for Mary Lynn or Emma? If not, we can give you back a few minutes. The other thing to mention is we do have another session. I don't know, Mary Lynn or Emma, if you just want to give a quick briefing of the Thursday session we've got this week. So I will send that link out in our thank you email as well as a reminder. We do have another session, our final one on Thursday at the same time. Do you want to just give a bit of a brief?
Yeah, it's security incident handling, which will be out with 23.3 in the November timeframe. And this is a missing link in many companies' security operations postures. And so this is the formal handling of security incidents as defined by NIST and other compliance institutes. And so we'll be giving you a preview of what that looks like. We already have early access for several customers that are just waiting for it to be GA, including Continental Tire, AIB, and Ericsson. So yeah, I think it's an interesting thing that we didn't know if how much steam would pick up from it, and it's got tremendous interest in it. So that's Thursday.